sat here having my cup of tea, and I've been up about half an hour now. I haven't got a watch on, so I can't even tell you. And hang on a second, it's on my laptop. Yeah, about half an hour, 40 minutes. I've had my breakfast, I'm just in my cup of tea, and this is usually the time that I come to you guys and I will write a post up on this page. But today I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go live. I'm just going to do a little live and talk to you about this issue. So, mental health. 1 in 4 now, and we all know that statistic is a very popular statistic. Now, I'm one of those 4. I was medically retired because I have bipolar. I overcome my massive OCD that I have, which kind of stopped me in every part of my life. And nowadays, we deal with a lot of clients who have similar issues, whether it be depression, anxiety, bipolar, OCD, whatever it is. And there's some certain ways that you can help your client when it comes to this, because let's face it, you're not going to go through your whole career and not have someone come in who has these struggles. It's just not going to happen. But the problem we face is that sometimes we have a complete meltdown because we don't want to upset them or hurt them or make anything worse. And so it's really important that we talk about this, not only so it can help your clients get better results, but then for your clients to feel that they're not being judged or they're in a safe environment, but also for yourself, because you're a human being. I know you're a PT, you're not superhuman, you're a human being, okay? And you may also be going through some of the stuff that I've experienced, through clients' experience. So today I wanted to just give you 5 top tips that I use, Barry uses, and we use with our clients, and I use with myself. Baz is in the gym at the moment having a workout, like all good PTs do, like first thing in the morning. I'll be going in afterwards. So let's have a look at this then. So tip number 1, I've got them all written down here because remember, it is early in the morning and I'm just still on my caffeinated tea. Don't judge. That's step number 1, don't judge. Take all of your ego, your beliefs, your values out of it, because you will not be able to completely understand, but you might be able to empathise. So for example, if someone comes in and they're feeling they have been depressed for a while, some people just don't get depression. Well, I don't know, do something that makes you happy. And sometimes it's not as easy as that. And just because you can snap yourself out of something doesn't mean to say that someone else will. So it's really important to take that away from it, because let me put it this way to you. If you had something so precious that you wanted to discuss with a friend, a close friend or a family member, but you believe that they would judge you for it, would you tell them and would you trust them? You probably wouldn't. So it's in your interest to take your beliefs and take your values out of it. Take your ego out of it 100%, because you're just going to come to loggerheads and you're never going to be able to fully understand. I mean, even with my bipolar, there's lots of different strains and everybody goes through it in lots of different ways. So I cannot really understand what someone else is going through because I'm not in their shoes. I haven't experienced what they've experienced, but I can empathise with them. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, go at their speed, not yours. And this is a really important one. So I've had trainers before who have gone at their speed and I'm like, oh, this is too quick for me, it's too much for me. And it's made me ill. So it's really important to sit down and have that chat with your client and really get to grips with them. Right, how fast do you need to go? Is this okay for you? Are we going too fast? Is this a little bit slow? And really just pace them, because if you've got someone who's uber depressed, then you want to build them up. You don't want to give them something so difficult to do that they're going to fail the task and they're going to feel like a failure themselves. We don't need to make them feel any worse about themselves than they already do. So that's tip number 2, to go at their speed. Tip number 3, and this is one from Baz. Have you ever noticed that we've got 2 of these and 1 of these? It's there for a reason. So we need to listen more than we talk, because sometimes your client will just want someone to talk to. And I know for me, when I'm depressed or whatever it is, or when I'm feeling anxious, I just need someone to listen. So again, it goes back to number one, really, taking those beliefs and values out. And I know you want to help them, but sometimes it's just good to listen. Let them get it all out, because, you know, they will want to talk to you about it. And it might be that you talk about it during a session, and don't stress and think, oh God, we're meant to be doing the leg press and we're meant to be doing this, we're meant to be doing that. It's their session. Let them dictate it to a certain degree. And if they need to talk, then they need to talk. I've taken complete training out of it before now, and we've just gone for a walk and we've talked and talked and talked, and it's really helped that person. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, create balance. So when it comes to mental health, it's not about fixing them at all whatsoever. It's about management of energy, okay? So when I say this, create balance for them, I mean, for example, with someone who is bipolar and they're in a mania, they don't need to do any HIIT training because they're already up there. So they need to do something like yoga or something slow, steady paced, right? Someone who's depressed might not be able to lift as heavy weights. I know for me, when I'm depressed, I literally just can't lift the weights that I used to be able to like a week ago. So for them, it might be that you do some gentle weights. And it's about managing and seeing how you are on the day and giving them some tools so they can manage their levels. Okay, so it's about creating balance, good sleep, good nutrition, taking out all the sugar. I know once I took out all sugar, it really helped my mood. Even things like Diet Cokes and that kind of thing, it really helped my mood. So it's about creating that balance. And we have the triangle, and we have, lifestyle at the top, so stress management at the top, we have exercise, and we have food here. And for me, with my balance, for me, it's definitely stress and lifestyle management, my medication, and then my sort of looking after my body with nutrition, exercise. And it's about having that absolute balance. And tip number 5 is humour always wins. So there's a famous quote by Carrie Fisher. And Carrie Fisher says this. She says, it better get funny fast. And if you don't know, Carrie Fisher suffered a lot with bipolar. And she would make it her mission in life to actually create humour out of every single situation. Okay, and there will be some sort of humour. Now, unfortunately, I have a very dark humour, and so does Barry, because of our time that we spent in the police and the prison service. Sometimes it doesn't go down so well with clients, but that's just who we are, and they know that now. But humour will always win. So if you can make your client laugh, if you can make light of a situation in a respectful way, then that is something that's really, really going to help them. And especially for you as well, if you are in a dark place, whatever, try and make some light of it. I know it sounds crazy, but even if it's the funniest thing, you put your socks on, different way around, or you put your top on back to front, whatever it is, it's not a disaster. The world's not going to end. Make light of it, okay? So they're my tips for you today. Number 1, don't judge. Number 2, go at their speed and not yours. Number 3, listen more that you can talk. Number 4, create balance. And number 5, have a bloody good laugh about it. So that's my little tips for you guys today, short and sweet. If you liked this, then, let us know. I'm not into kind of getting likes to boost ego and that kind of thing. What I'm interested in is that you guys find this useful. And I'd love to hear your comments if you find this useful, and also if you agree, or perhaps you're going to try this on a client. Let me know, because we're all in this together. The fitness industry, we are all doing the same thing, okay guys, and we all need to pull together on this. So have a great Wednesday, hump day I think they call it, and probably see you on Friday with another post.